Good morning, good life. Welcome back to Amy TV, where we come together to help you go after the life you want. When you're in a negative mindset, it can almost feel impossible to get out of it, whether or not something actually terrible has happened or not. So if you can relate to being in a rut like this right now and you are trying to figure out how to get out of it, I have a few ideas. If we want to change your negative mindset, first we need to ask ourselves a question. Who do we talk to the most throughout any single day? You might be thinking of a few different people. Maybe it's a child, a significant other, or a coworker, or a boss, or a parent. But the person that we actually spend the most amount of time talking to is ourselves. We talk to ourselves all day long, whether some of us do it out loud or not. Knowing that you talk to yourself the most throughout every single day, from the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep, you've got to then ask yourself, what are we doing to try to change the conversation with ourselves before we can look out and blame the rest of the world for what's going on with us or how we feel. We have to take responsibility over the fact that we could actually potentially be having a little bit more positive of a conversation, if in no other way than when we are speaking to ourselves about ourselves. Remember our favorite Emily Dickinson quote: if you take care of the small things, the big things take care of themselves. You have to be willing to say that you have tried to work on the small things so that the bigger impact will happen. So what are some of those small things? Well, instead of starting a day by scrolling your phone, you can start with intention. Maybe have a mindfulness moment where you actually journal about what's happening on your mind. Another thing that I do to really just set my mind very, very straight is to review and rewrite my goals as if they are already done. Maybe instead of when you have that moment you want to turn the TV on, whether you plan to lay on the couch and scroll your phone at the same time or you're doing something else, instead of putting on a show that you typically would, we're putting on like a TED Talk or a positive YouTube video, something where at least that background track is something that's contributing to positivity versus the status quo. These are really subtle things that we can do instead of the norm. And they're all things that contribute to lessening that negative self-talk. There's never gonna be a point where we have completely let ourselves be 100% positive all the time. It's so challenging for that to happen. But if we can decrease the percentage of time that the conversation we have with ourselves is a very negative one, that's a small step in a really, really, really important direction. Another idea that you might keep in mind is also the sponsor of this episode of Amy TV, and that is our friends at Audible. You guys have heard me talk about Audible so many times. I love this app. I'm so excited because they finally designed a widget for the iPhone. If you know what I'm saying, then you know what I'm saying. Do not ask me to explain further. But a lot of people don't know that Audible is so much more than audiobooks. There's so much content. There's podcasts as well. And there's even meditative content such as listening to sleep tracks that help you get your 8-9 hours. Mine has been 9 hours lately, if you saw one of my recent videos. This multitude of content is thanks to the Audible Plus catalog. When you flip through it, you'll see everything from audiobooks to meditation programs, to sleep tracks, to Audible originals, to podcasts, to guided fitness. There's just so much going on, and you have anything you want in your earbuds that allow you to stay focused on where you want to be rather than what the rest of the world is hoping that you will focus on instead. This intention is what Audible is offering you with this catalog. Being able to say that I can go there and I can pull anything positive into my life that I want thanks to this membership. The best part about the program is that once you join and you become an Audible member, you get 1 free audiobook credit per month. I use the crap out of my credits, but as a member, you also get unlimited access to the Audible Plus catalog. If you're brand new, you get a 30-day free trial. There is no risk whatsoever to giving it a go. You can even check out audiobooks like Good Morning, Good Life or Vlog Like a Boss if you so choose. Just head over to audible.com/Amy Landino, or you can text Amy Landino to 500 and you'll get all the details that you need to get signed up. A lot of what I shared in terms of changing small things may sound very familiar to you. We know, Amy, stop scrolling. We know, too much TV, Amy. We know, get away from negative people, just ghost them. And we can keep saying we know. But then what are we saying about what we don't know, and getting comfortable with being in a don't know mindset when we are actively trying to be better? The fact that you would click into this video and want to learn from me, what can I do to get out of a negative mindset, shows me that you know what it takes to be in a don't know mindset, to be open. But now I'm asking you, be open about what you keep doing in your life that's not working, and be open to swapping it out for something else. I want to unpack this don't know mindset thing a little bit more. I learned about this in the book Dropping Ashes on the Buddha, which I have to say was probably the hardest, most challenging book of late that I have read in order to keep up with it. What I've realized by reading that book and by being in a negative mindset every once in a while myself is that sometimes we think we are. Like sometimes we're like, oh yeah, I'm totally curious. Like I'm so clueless about XYZ thing that I'm passionate about. But then when we go to educate ourselves, or we try to be in that mindset to be more accepting of answers that we may not have taken as opportunities in the past, we shut them down early because we still think we know better. So what I learned from that is that when we try to get to a space when we are really accepting and learning of new ideas, maybe we should be in completely uncharted territory in order for us to understand how it will work to advance our minds. So here's what I mean. If I were to sit down at a piano, I would very much be like, I know nothing. I know absolutely nothing. So I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna try to embrace not knowing anything about this and learn something, so that anytime I learn something, there's that little dopamine hit, right? There's that little bit of addiction to, oh, I got somewhere, I advanced, I got a little step, I got a baby step, and now I'm on to the next. By being in a space of, I know nothing about this, I'm much more open to learning the best and next steps. And then I start to realize how big that would be, even in the spaces I think I totally get already. This is why I've picked up playing piano whenever I can obviously make time for it, and whenever I do, it game changes where my head is, because I can take it away from the things that are bugging me and put it towards something new. I started playing tennis with my husband, not because I'm any good, but because I go out there, I know I'm terrible, and all I can do is do my best and learn how to not flick my wrist a certain way, and maybe not backhand if I don't know how to do that yet. But if I do, then when is the right time to do it? And I'm so much more open to learning those things because I know I'm in a territory I don't get at all. So if you feel like, yes, even in a don't know mindset, I will go and watch YouTube videos to advance my cause, or I'll read books on things, and I still feel like I can't get out of the mindset. Have you tried something totally different? It takes removing from the status quo in all ways sometimes for you to truly see that you have the ability to have a positive mindset. You just forgot because you didn't give it anything to look forward to. Literally the first take. Are you serious? I hope this has helped you change your negative mindset, and I'd love to hear how you're improving on it by sharing in the comments down below. That's all for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it as always. Remember, subscribe for good vibes, kiss the ones you love, and go after the life you want. Cheers.